Okay, we're back. Our next person up is there's no name. Could this be you? Ah, I think your student ID is good, but no one will know it.
No, in the presentation.
You should have your name on this. I think. I think so. So let's see if we can get this to go full screen. And you are up and running.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Today I'm here to give a brief introduction about my thesis proposal, that is denoising and pre-RS detection of ECG signals using empirical mode decomposition.
And can you tell us your name?
Gopi. Let us go into the introduction part.
Before just a minute, please. It's very good if we can show each other a little respect. I think it's very important because when people are presenting, sometimes they're nervous, and if you can keep it down, it would be very helpful.
Let's go into the introduction part. Before going in deep, we have to know about the ECG signal, that is, which reflects the activity of heart and gets recorded into the electrocardiogram. The visualization of electrocardiogram, the signal ECG signal is not a periodic signal. As it is not a periodic signal, it is very difficult to visually analyze it. So there is a need for a computer-based software technology to analyze these complex ECG signals. So this is general ECG signal and the components of this ECG signal, that is PR interval and different segments of the ECG signal. And next, going to motivation part, the significance of this problem is first we have to denoise the signal as the signal, if when recording it undergoes power line interference or it noise addition. So we have to first denoise the signal using different methods. We have different techniques to denoise this, we have neural networks and we have empirical mode decomposition too. And empirical mode decomposition is a less computational time. It takes less computational time to denoise these signals. And this is my taxonomy. Different biomedical signals. Thereafter we are going to enhancement. In enhancement we have three techniques: empirical mode decomposition and neural networks and independent component analysis. From there we are selecting empirical mode. The next step after that is finding R peaks. For transform, to analyze this signal we have four different transforms, that is Fourier transform, wavelet, Hilbert transform, different operation method. From these selecting the two parameters, that is detection error and sensitivity, we select the best method for transforming these complex signals. Next, going to the approach, the ECG signal decomposition is the main aim of my thesis proposal. First we have to, there are different transform techniques to analyze these signals. There are Hilbert transform as we have seen in the taxonomy. So as Fourier series and Fourier transform is applicable only for periodic signals, because the ECG signals are non-periodic, we cannot go with these Fourier series and Fourier transform. Thereafter, comparing the remaining three methods, we compare these results with results like error detection rate and sensitivity. Based on that, we select a better method to analyze these signals. This empirical mode decomposition is, it decomposes the signal into small intrinsic mode functions, IMF. Here we divided the signal into 7 different IMFs and add up these 7 after denoising it. We get a complete denoised ECG signal. Thereafter we have to perform different transformation techniques. R-bit detection, we are applying Hilbert transform, difference operation method and wavelet transform, and we compare for different parameters and choose the best one. And my contribution to this field is we can use to analyze complex signals like heart signals, and we also use in cognitive science like to study the brain functions too. Thank you.
This is Naga. Is Naga here? You are here. Good. You have a huge PowerPoint. Maybe this is slowing us down, huh? We'll stop this for a second. How big is this file? This is 3 megabytes already. Are we done soon? No? Will this download while we're young? It's good. Starting. Okay. That's very good. Thank you. Let me resume the upload. Well, this is here. And what could possibly go wrong? Naga, you're up.
Good evening to one and all. I'm going to give the presentation on the hand gesture robot for bomb detection. So here, hand gesture robot for bomb detection. Now here I'm discussing about the aim of the project and introduction of the project and taxonomy and the block diagram. Aim of the project. This is an interesting project. For this project, we need to detect the bomb. So we need a sensor. We need a detector which has the ability to detect. So here we use some induction in the metal detector, and this robot should be able to move in all the places, and it should be flexible to move in all the different directions. And this robot should move under the control of the hand gestures and able to move in all the directions. So this can be possible by using some sensor. So, introduction of the project. This is a robot which can be controlled by the hand gestures and an RF remote. And this has ability to move in the forward and reverse directions, and it can take sharp turnings towards the left and right directions. And it can be controlled by the. And here we use a high sensitive induction type of metal detector. And when this robot is moving on the surface, when it detects when it finds any metal or the bomb, so it can give a signal that beep sound when any bomb is detected. This is taxonomy. For the taxonomy of this one, we need a detector and a sensor and the data transmission. For detection on the different type of detections, we use metal detector. And for the sensor, we use electromechanical systems. And for data transmission, we use wireless transmission. This is a block diagram. For the hand gesture recognizer, we use microelectrical and mechanical systems. In this, it consists of an experimental plane with the coordinate axis, so it can recognize the movement of the hand. So on that basis, the robot can move. So the signal from the hand gesture recognizer is given to the RF encoder. So the three switches are interfaces between the RF encoder and the transmitter. Encoder continuously sends the status of the switches to the transmitter. And metal detector. This detector is able to detect any metal at the destination. So from the RF receiver, the signal is sent to a detector. Detector converts the signal and give to the microcontroller. And microcontroller controls the motor drivers. So it ons the motor drivers so that the motor can move, robot can move. So when it detects any bomb, it beeps the sound. MEMS. Here in this project we use microelectric and mechanical systems. In microelectric and mechanical systems, this is a very small mechanical devices driven by the electricity. And this consists of a unit that processes the data and the thing which can recognize the movement in the hand, like we use like microsensors. Metal detector, a simple form of metal detector in which it consists of the oscillator producing an alternating current, and it passes through a coil so that it produces a magnetic field. The components used are metal detector, motor driver, motor, RF module, encoder, decoder, and MEMS. Thank you.
Okay. Moving right along. Nice and fast. For our next candidate, it is Spechetti. Spechetti here? Yes. Okay.
Good evening to one and all. Today I am going to present on wireless cost efficient energy meter in a smart grid. Main aim of the project is to monitor and record the amount of energy consumed by the residents. For this, we are using a GSM and Zigbee models in order to collect the information from the residents to the power supply. Taxonomy, transmission, wireless transmission and wide transmission. Coming to wireless transmission, short distance and for long distance. For short distance, we are using a Zigbee model, and for long distance, we are using a GSM model in this. Our Zigbee module, which is connected at the residence and also the power supply department, which will transfer the data from the residence, how much amount is consumed, to the electricity department, such that it can update at regular interval. GSM model, which will pass the message to the customer, monthly bills, amount of power consumed. Microcontroller, which will act as a mediator between the Zigbee module and the energy meter. Energy meter match to 32, which is used to convert the readings between the Zigbee module and the system. The proposed block diagram of the project. Data flow. The load is connected to the energy meter, and the energy meter will automatically update the amount of the power consumed, and this will be forwarded to the power supply using a microcontroller, which will set in a period. According to that period, the amount of power will be consumed will be sent to the station, and this station will record all these readings in the server, and every monthly it will be calculate the monthly bill and send to the customer using GSM model. And if the customer is paid in a regular time, then it will continue with the same process. If it is not paid, then by sending a signal through Zigbee, the power supply will be out.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're really going fast now. That's great. Let's see what else we got here. Is Chathana, you're here? How do I say your name? Chathana. So get that. Okay. Here we go. Nice and fast. Okay.
Hi, good evening everyone. I am here to present my presentation on intelligent fire detection in trains. Let me tell you what is fire detection system. A fire detection system is a system that combination of circuits and components and monitor the area for continuously for fire. If any unusual fires are found, then it automatically gives the signal to the people around the area by buzzing an alarm or sound. What's the problem? In general, most of the fire detection systems are used as smoke sensors. Most of the smoke sensors are sensitive to smoke. For example, if you take a a burning cigarette, and if you keep in front of the smoke sensor, so that will also that will trigger the alarm, so that will give the more false alarms, which will cause disturbance to the travel of the passengers, and also to reschedule again and to rerun the services, it's going to be a tough job. So in order to avoid the false alarms, I'm using the smoke, heat and carbon monoxide sensor in conjunction with each other, because most of the parts in the trains are made artificially, so when they are during the combustion time, they release carbon monoxide gas, so I'm using the carbon monoxide sensor. And the decision whether to trigger an alarm or not will be made by the microcontroller. As coming to data flow, whenever an unusual atmos data is found by the sensor, that gives signal to the microcontroller, and depending upon the micro values that we flash into the microcontroller will trigger an alarm. If the data received from the sensors is more than or equal to the data flashed into the microcontroller, it triggers an alarm and it stops. If not, it repeats the same process for continuous monitoring of the signal. This is a response time. In the initial stage, the response of the smoke is 0. So whenever the smoke is detected, and it gives the signal to the microcontroller. So at last, the heat sensor, if heat sensor gives a signal to the microcontroller will assume it has a fire and gives an alarm. Taxonomy. There are different types of detection in general. So in order to detect the fire detection, I'm using the sensor. So under the sensors, I'm using thermal energy and chemical energy. So under thermal, we use heat and smoke. So I'm combining all the sensors to form an intelligent fire sensor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see who's next. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What did I do? Access denied? No. I have to start again with the grade book. Let's see, grade center needs grading. Alright, so where are we up to? It must be Santush. Will you check by is Santush here? Not here? This one we have. How do I pronounce your name? Saichand. Okay, you're up.
Good evening, class. I am Sai Chandran. I am going. My thesis on biomedical implantable devices for the spinal cord injury. So, get into the topic. So, before going to implementation, I just want you to know about the spinal cord injury. Spinal cord injury is just a damage to the spinal cord, which causes impaired feelings and makes the body paralyzed. So, to regain the functionality of the paralyzed body part, we are using an implantable device which makes a body to function and gives a quality of life and make the paralyzed body part function. So, for implementing an implantable device, we are using an electrical simulation technique, and for that we will be using an electrodes and a pulse generator and a little programming to that device. So an electrical simulation an electrical simulation technique is a technique which is main principle is to produce an electric currents these electric currents are sent to the nerves, which makes the dead nerves active by passing the electrical currents to the dead nerves. And so uh, to to give the electric currents, we are using a pulse generator, and to receive that electrical pulses, we are using an electrodes, and to give that electric currents at the proper times, we are using a programming part for that. So the main working functionality of the implantable device, firstly we will be using a transmitter which will be consisting of a pulse generator, and these pulses are sent to the radio signals through a wireless antenna, and these radio signals which is consisting of the electrical currents are being given to the receiver. For this receiver we are using an electrodes. These electrodes accumulate the stimulating pulses and gives to the nerves, which makes the dead nerves to function, reback, and make the paralyzed body part function. So these electrodes will be the playing a main role in making the paralyzed body function. So the main contribution will be from my side will be in selection of equipments, as the main principle we are using an electrical simulation just to implement the implantable device. For that we will be having many types of techniques like neuromuscular simulation technique, and functional simulation technique, and electrical simulation technique, and transcutaneous nerve simulation technique. From that, for the implementing the implantable device, I am using the functional electrical simulation technique, where it produces electrical currents and make the active nerves to be function. So for that implementation, we will be using an electrodes, whether it may be carbonized rubber electrodes, or the platinum electrodes, or the copper tipped electrodes. So the best choosing is the platinum electrodes, and the main criteria will be going about the electrical placements. The electrical placements will be the main criteria for generating these electrical pulses and receiving these electrical pulses, and the proper placement is to be done, whether it to be the bilateral or unilateral, to make the body function. So to implement the implantable device, we have to focus on placing the electrodes, and the power supply functionalities, and the cost effectiveness. So this has to be taken care to implement implantable device to make a better function, and to give a better quality of life for the spinal cord injured people. Thank you.
I just want to say this about that. It isn't a proper taxonomy, right? Because what you want to do is categorize your areas of knowledge here, and it's not clear where your contribution is. Which of these things are you doing? Or are you doing all of them?
No, I am just using the functional electrical simulation technique to implement this implantable device.
So are you doing the bottom one, unilateral?
No, I am with the electrodes, I can just implement this implantable device as using that technique, functional simulation technique.
I see. So next is Naveen. Let's see if we can get you into download. Downloads right away. Naveen, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. I am Naveen. I am going to give a presentation on visible light communication using LEDs. Introduction. Visible light communication. Visible light communication refers to the communication technology which utilizes the light source as a signal transmitter, and the air as a transmission medium, and the photodiode as a receiving component. And as you all know, visible light is all around us, and it is easily comprised visually with electromagnetic waves. And visible light spectrum. And the visible spectrum covers a wavelength of 380 nanometers to 750 nanometers. Motivation. Visible light does not cause any health problems as it is easily perceivable by women, and LEDs are cheaper than radio frequencies, and there are no electromagnetic interference occurs, and the RF radiation in hospitals and airplanes will be vanished. And taxonomy. The main component of visible light communication is the image sensor. It is divided into scanning and non-scanning. And non-scanning, we have imaging and non-imaging. Imaging, we are using a camera which consists of a two-dimensional. It converts the optical image to electronic signal, and it gives an infrared light. Visible light communication process. This block diagram describes the process of sending the sending the data and receiving the signal. First, the data is sent to the modulation, where the data is converted into the carrier signal, and it is given to the it's sent to the light source, where the light signal is passed to the photodiode or CMOS or CCD image sensors, and which are built in digital cameras, and from there the data is sent to the demodulation, where the carrier signal is demodulated into the data. Coming to the transmitters and receivers of visible light communication, visible light LEDs are the transmitters of visible light communication, and LEDs can be switched on and off at very high speed rates, and pin photodiodes are the receivers of VLC, and pin photodiode is nothing but an electronic device designed to create a receiving signal from the light source. And the image sensors are the receivers of visible light communication. Image sensors are a device which converts the optical image into an electronic signal. The applications of visible light communication. Smart lighting. Smart buildings require smart lighting. Smart lighting with visible light communication provides infrastructure for illumination, control, and communication, and energy consumption in buildings is reduces. We can reduce it. Mobile connectivity. By pointing a visible light at another device, we can create a high-speed data link, and it provides a much higher data rate than Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Hospitals and healthcare. In hospitals and healthcare, we have more advantages. As we know, Wi-Fi and mobile phones are restricted in the operation theaters, so we can use the visible light communication. And in vehicle and transportation, as you all know, the many of the cars have already have LEDs, and also the traffic lights and the street lamps are adapted with the traffic LED technology. So there we have a massive application opportunities here. Thank you.
I should say that I really like the yellow text on the black background. I thought it was very visible. I didn't realize it would look so nice. Let's see, what's next? Vamshi. Okay, you're up.
Good evening, Professor. Good evening, friends. And this is my topic: MIMD panel architecture design using backpropagation. So, what is MIMD? MIMD is nothing but multiple input and multiple data by using a parallel architecture using backpropagation technique.
It's multiple instruction.
Multiple instruction, multiple data. So the idea that I got to use backpropagation technique is come from biological neural network. So what is biological neural network? So the biological neural network is the interconnector of neurons. So in this, the information that is passed by using a cells. So we have like synapse and dendrite. So the information that is passed to the axon to the dendrites. So there is no connection between the axon and the dendrite actually. So by using a synapse cell, the information that is passed to the axon and dendrite. So the same technique I am using this backpropagation. So the backpropagation is nothing but the information that is passed to input to output. So there is no connection between input and output. Only by using hidden layer the information is passed. So is my problem statement. So by using a FPGA design, I am sending the multiple instructions and multiple data by using a minimum time algorithm. So by using, I am subject to constraint to data parallel processing by using a backpropagation technique. Here is my approach and motivation validation. So my approach is to send multiple data from input to output layer using backpropagation, and I'm validating this idea by using two techniques, by using a backpropagation time. So I'm calculating the forward backpropagation time and backward propagation time. By doing that, I'm validating this technique. So here is my design and architecture. So here there are 16 processors and there are 4 stages. So the information is processed to the forward direction as well as in the backward directions. So the table in the graph. So the minimum stages are 4, and there is a minimum and maximum delays for each stages. So the minimum delay for each stages are 2, and the maximum delay is calculated by using a formula that is 2 of n minus 1. So as the number of processor increases, the efficiency increases here. And this is my taxonomy. Here is my contribution by using a backpropagation algorithm by routing in FPGA design. So I am using a single multiple function tools in that my design, verification and analysis. Here is the summary. So the backpropagation time reduces the waiting time. So my contribution to the field is backpropagation algorithm routing in FPGA. And here is the references. Thank you.
Are you here? Oh, good. I should have a... Is there a name on this? Ah, here it is. Ranjit Kumar.
Hello, good evening to all. Today I am going to discuss about my thesis proposal. It is autonomous underwater vehicle navigation. There are three types of the underwater vehicle now: remote operator vehicle and unmanned underwater vehicle and autonomous underwater vehicle. Autonomous underwater vehicle nothing but the travels in the underwater without input from the operator from the outside. This is the design of the autonomous underwater vehicle. It's approximately 8 feet long and 53 centimeters diameter and 450 laps weight. In this, we use different types of sensors. Those are the compasses, depth sensors, and side scan sonars, magnetometers, and thermistors. And here we use multi-sensor data fusion techniques to combine the information from the different type of sonar scanners. And because of the MSDF technique, we can improve the navigation system. And we have to measure the velocity of the components from in the vehicle by the compass and the water speed sensor. And here comes to the navigation. We use the inertial navigation system. By the inertial navigation system, we estimate the position by integrating a signal from the accelerometer. Accelerometer is nothing but it measures the vehicle's accelerations. Here is my taxonomy. Here we use the different type of sensors. Those are compass and speed sensor, Doppler sensor, and we use the multi-sensor data fusion, and we use the navigation. I use inertial navigation system. In an inertial navigation system, we use two types of sensors. Those are inertial measurement sensors and Doppler relative sensors. That's it. Thank you.
Can everybody in the back of the room read what this says? You can see this? Yes, everybody can see this? It says, you see what it says here? Navigation, can you see in the back? Here? Everyone can see this but me?
I find it very difficult to read. Maybe you could pack more information in it if you made the font smaller. Wouldn't that be a good idea? We can make it smaller, and then everyone will be able to hear. I can help you. What we'll do is we'll just drag it like this. There. Now we can see. Okay, good. What else? Image, audio, video is steganography. Is Anoop here? Yes.
Good evening, class. My topic is image, audio, video, steganography and cryptography. And introduction comes to my project is mainly focuses on the new study of the information technology, and it is mainly works with the hidden writing and increase the production of the sending files to the one client to the another client. And coming to the problem statement of my project is when we are sending a one file from one file to one client to the other client, we have a problem of some loss of data. By using my project, we can send the data with a very secure manner. In my project, I am using mainly the steganography and cryptography. And by using the data, by encrypting of the data, we are sending to the another client and decrypting after reaching to the customer. And coming to the approach of my customer, the steganography is the main thing. The hiding the messages on the one another, and the cryptography is the steganography is the thing which is hidden writing which is on the file. These two works together to stop the piracy of the file which is hacking. And comes down to the motivation. The the images of the files of the can have a chance of hacking and that all. By this by using my steganography and cryptography, we can stop that piracy and all those things. These are the lots of benefits of risking of it can solve the users in the military and the video piracy like that. When it comes to the explanation, when it is a plain text, after the encryption of this text, we can send into the zip aspect and decryption of this text and sending the other to the original message to the other client. Here comes my taxonomy. The steganography and cryptography is which divide into the three parts: image, video, and audio. The secured and unsecured. Here, in cryptography we have decrypt and encrypt. In the unsecured we have mails and messages. These files will be now sending on the LAN connection. In future we can send it on a LAN connection. And my main contribution up to this project is we are splitting this one file into the image, video, and audio. This is how till now this has been not done. I'm thinking about it. Thank you.
Ravina, you're up. Is it downloaded? It's not opening.
Good evening, friends. Here is my project titled as Autobus Security System based on RFID and GSM network. This project aims at the theft control of vehicles like cars by sending an SMS as a password to users' mobiles. And coming to introduction, this project is mainly uses the emerging applications of GSM technology, and also by using the GSM network, there is a control system has been proposed, which acts as an embedded system which can monitor and controls the vehicle access using the built-in input and output components. And the project behind the main concept behind this project is receiving a sent SMS and used as a password to start the vehicle. And this is the existing system. In this we have in the earlier we have lot of security proposed systems has been arrived to reduce the theft control. In this we have RFID and microcontroller. Whenever we want to start the vehicle, just scan the RFID tag and just compare the microcontroller's ID and the RFID tag's ID. If it matches, the LCD shows that the person he is the authorized one. Then the energize the valve drivers and the engine works. This is the process in existing system. And we have proposed system. In this we have transmitter section and vehicular section. In transmitter section we have mobile, and in vehicular section we have ARM7 controller and RFID tag and GSM modem. Why we using ARM7 controller in this is we have two serial ports in ARM7 controller. We have only one serial port in microcontroller. One is interfacing with RFID and one is interfacing with GSM. Whenever we want to start the vehicle, just scan the RFID tag and compare the ID in RFID tag and ARM7 controller. If it matches, the LCD shows that he is an authorized person, and send an SMS through GSM to user's mobile. The password is in SMS we have the passcode. We can enter the passcode using keypad. Then it matches, the engine energizes and the motor works. This is the proposed system. In this we have RFID. Yeah, in RFID, RFID is the radio frequency identification. This allows only authorized persons to enter the particular area or to access the particular area. In RFID we have three main components. One is antenna or coil, and another one is transceiver, another one is transporter. This transporter tag contains the communicates with passive tags. These passive tags have no power source externally. Instead of direct power from its internal electromagnetic field, and this is the RFID. And another we have GSM. This is the global system for communication. This is widely used in mobile communications, and this is very mature. And the information transmission is so real and secure and convenient. And and this is the taxonomy. I already discussed the last slide. In this we have the same as the proposed system. And coming to the conclusion, the AutoCAD system combines the advantages of RFID and GSM. By using the GPS, we locate the vehicle accurately. Thank you.
Riti. You heard? Good. Bear with me a minute. It looks like I need to do a download. Okay, you are on.
Hello everyone. My thesis is about panoramic image stitching through rotation model video. And these are some of the panoramic images, and many of the fields panoramic image stitching process is done in many process. One way is to having an image on a thin film layer, and another way is by using the lens. And there are so many processes, but after stitching is done, there are so many errors of distortion of images and misalignments of images. By using this technique, we can eradicate some of the misalignments and distortions. We use Y-Panorama. It has a virtual reality, that is a sense of being actually existing the image, and the stitching of aerial images to make the maps. And the panoramic mosaic has 360 degrees, and whereas human vision has very less degrees, and that is 176. And so we use this panorama, and the main goal is to combine the small pixels from the multiple images to form a bigger image, because it has a very brighter and better and sharper images. It has a very super resolution and reduced noise, and there is no blur in these images. We use this panoramic stitching algorithm in this way. At first we give the input as a video from video taking from the camera, rotating about its center. And first we extract the keyframes from the video using the histogram matching. The histogram matching is nothing but the graphical representation of the function and the given data. And we use by using the technique surf in speeded up robust features in all the images. And for adjacent images, we match the features and eliminate outliners by using ransack. It's a random sample consensus, and solve the homography. In this way, we blend the overlapping images to obtain the panorama. And what is surf? It is period of robust features. It's an integer approximation to the determinant of the Hessian blob detector, and these can be computed by the integral image, and the features by high wavelet response, and we do the matching by the Hessian matrix called trace LXS plus LYY, and LXX is nothing but Laplace of Gaussian of image processing. And what is ransack? It is a random sample consensus, and it is a iterative method to eliminate the outliners. The main process is by ransack, and it's a ransack for homography. First, initially we match the points, and finally it's final match points, and we do the verification, and it's multi-band blending. It is mainly the idea to eradicate the blur images. It's my taxonomy, and panoramic image stitching has so many we use so many features, like I'm using in this like OpenCV in Visual Studio, like image matching and histogram matching, and I use the serve period of robust features in this thesis. That's it. Thank you.
I should say that this contrast could somehow be improved. There's something about the colors makes it a little difficult to see. I'm not sure why. Maybe if you used bigger font, it would help. Jaya here? You're here. Okay. We have 4 people to go. We're just going to make it.
We'll have to be quick. Hi everyone, good evening. My topic is wireless charging of mobile phone. Actually, we are using mobile phones in our every aspect of our life, and mobile phone is just, we use it by moving, right? But if it becomes immobile, it's awful. That's why. But it has become immobile. Is becoming immobile while charging. And also, if we don't get any cord or connected to that, it's really a big deal to use like in mobile. So, what is the solution to it? To charge the battery without wires. It is by using ambient resources. We can use it. We can use ambient resources to charge the battery, and I'm using the radio waves. We have different ambient resources like solar energy, and also we can use a piezoelectric effect. I'm using radio waves. Here is my taxonomy. My taxonomy also tells about my contribution. This radio waves, we can detect them by the fractal antennas. Also, I'm using concept of backscatter elements, which reflect these radio waves. My contribution is actually the combination of fractal antennas and backscatter elements. And also I am using the supercapacitor in this. This is my block diagram. We are keeping a transmitter around 3.5 kilometers apart, and from there we produce a here in our circuit we are using fractal antennas which detect it, and this wave is reflected in between these backscatter devices, and from these backscatter devices we can produce the power. Actually, the supercapacitor, what I'm using is it discharges the battery completely for 10,000 cycles. So it takes time to discharge completely. That's why I in the meantime I can charge the battery. And also the fractal antenna is a 6 gigahertz antenna, and it receives the 240 microwatt power. While the transmitter transmits the power is around 5 watt power. It is of 3.5 kilometers apart, so it receives the power of 240 microwatts. Like this receives 120 microwatt, and this receives 120 microwatt power per second. So around for in 1 hour we can get 500 to 600 milliwatt power, which is enough for and which is enough to charge our battery. So this is the thing. Thank you.
Is Deepak here?
Good evening, Professor. Good evening, friends. I am Deepak. My topic is about microgrid and storage. Nowadays we have the power shortage is a common problem. By overcome this problem, the microgrids are emerged. In the microgrid, the main problem is storage. That's why my topic is microgrid and storage. Coming to the concept of microgrid, in the microgrid connected to the main grid by using the bypass switch. In the microgrid we have the micro sources. These micro sources are connected to the power electronic interfaces. These are all are controlled by the communication system. This is the main important thing in the microgrid. Coming to the problem statement. In the problem statement, we are generally using the renewable sources for using the power generation. Renewable sources like wind and solar. The power is not constant by using the renewable sources like wind and solar. So in that time, we are using the diesel generators. By using this diesel generators, we have the problems like environmental pollution and also life of equipment will be decreased. For overcome these problems, we need to specify the perfect storage system for the microgrid. Coming to the approach, for approaching all these problems, we need to implement the perfect storage system. In the perfect storage system, we have the different storage systems like batteries and flywheels, supercapacitors, and also the magnetic energy storage. So my contribution about this microgrid is to analysis of all these storage systems. I need to specify the perfect storage system for the microgrid. That is my contribution. This is a taxonomy of the microgrid. I also mentioned the storage systems like batteries, flywheels, supercapacitor, and magnetic storage. In the batteries also we have the different storage systems like different batteries like zinc flow, lithium titanate, and also the volt ampere batteries. Coming to the conclusion, the problems like operational cost and environmental pollution, we need to implement the perfect storage system. That is my contribution. And also in the future, I need to implement the perfect storage system for the microgrid. That's my conclusion. Thank you.
Well, we're going very fast now. I think we have a couple more to do and we should be almost done. Okay. You're up.
Hi, good evening. The topic is about configuring, monitoring, and backup of rotors and switches. This is main concept of in this mainly we use the rotors and switches, and it's by using the Perl scripting language. rotors and switch. In this it plays a rotors. Rotor is it's a interconnection of network devices, and when coming to switch, which is improving the network programming. And why we are need for a automated tool? Why we are using the Perl scripting language? It involves if we do the manual work, it involves a lot of labor work and time. And it's when we use the manual work, it's a loss of data. To avoid this manual process, we implement the automated tool as Perl scripting language. And why this importance of automation is it increases the operator productivity and mode accuracy, and methodology also improved, and productivity is also improved by using the Perl scripting language. Why we are using only the Perl scripting language is it has a great features and security, and it's a dynamic memory management. Let's see what is the difference memory management when compared to the other programming languages like C, C++, Java and Python. When we compare to the all different types, Perl is mainly using the different types and memory management. And here comes to the my taxonomy. It mainly if any organization needs the simple and easy work, and one is acceptance. One organization should accept the code, and what are the acceptance in the requirements? By seeing the requirements, we'll using the Perl automated tool. In this, we'll write the code and we'll design an analysis. It's a simple process by using the Perl scripting language. It is to improve the most of the organization easily. And finally, we conclude that it's saving the time, and it will be automatically backup when we using the Perl scripting language. And the main contribution to this project is by using the Perl scripting language, we will easily manage the time management and loss of data, and we manage everything by using the Perl scripting language by backupping and configuring the monitoring and for rotors and switches. Thank you.
And is Durga here? Yes, Durga, you're up.
Okay, good evening to everyone. Today I am going to present my presentation on pick and place robot using Zigbee technology. Myself, Durga Prasad. Introduction. First, why we need this robot? By observing some conditions which has happened in past in our world, which is Bhopal gas explosion in India, and China power blast in nuclear power plant blast in China, which is causes so many people dead. By observing that, if you observe that incident, there are so many people dead from the rescue team. So here, the people who are going to save the victims, they are going to be faced with death. So here we are sending robot instead of the people. The approach to design a robot, first we need robot is a combination of electronics and mechanics. So we can call it as mechatronics. In this, first using the mechanics, we have to build a robot, and by adding the electronics like chips and programming, we will design our robot. In this, for the data transmission, we are using Zigbee technology for the fast data transmission. And here is my block diagram. First we need to give input from the robot, and that input will be analyzed by the controller, and it will send the data from transmitter to receiver, whereas the receiver in the robot will analyze the data, and it will transmit to the controller, the transfer where the programs are dumped, which will analyze all the instructions, and there it will take action on the object. The flowchart. In my flowchart, first we need to initialize all the sensors, and after that we have to initialize all the microcontroller, and the process between the transmitter and receiver should be tested. And if the sensor is transmitted from the sensor, and if it is hit the object and it is came back, then the object is detected, and if the object is detected,
then the robot is placed on the desired location, and it moved to the another task. If another object is located, and then it places the robot in the desired location, and it continues the loop. And if the object is not detected, and it is going to terminate the loop. Here is the taxonomy. First we have in this we have so many kind of detection. We can use different kind of sensors to detect different kind of objects. If we are using in a factory, we will use thermal detection. If you want to find some live objects, we will use motion detector sensor. And here we are using gas detector sensor. And after the transmission, there are two types of transmissions there: wired transmission and wireless transmission. In the wired transmission, power line carrier transmission and telephone line transmission are there. And wireless, here we are using Zigbee transmission, which is a very easy and fastest way to transfer the data. Thank you.
Is Arun here?
Yes.
Oh. Arun, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. Here today I'm to present a topic on GSM-based household appliances control. And the first slide is the introduction. The introduction, I'd like to tell about the technology which I've used and how I developed the kit, what are the steps taken for the safe use of that, and what sort of software I've used, and the simulation techniques, and why I'm using the GSM. Firstly, coming to the technology used, I've used the GSM technology for controlling or for monitoring all the household appliances. In this GSM technology, the whole project developed is just by sending a message from the mobile so that it can monitor the household appliances control. In the development of the kit, I have inserted a SIM card in the kit which I have selected, and that SIM card is registered so that whenever the user sends from a particular SIM card, the system receives the message, compares it, and performs the action as mentioned in that. For the safe use of this, I have written a program so that the kit only receives only the messages which are sent by the preset user, not the junk messages, so that can be operated. The software used for this for development is a Keel software, and the simulation techniques is on the Proteus simulation. Why I've used all the GSM is there are many problems with the web servers and Zigbee technologies. With the web servers and all, there may be a server breakdown. At that time, we cannot operate the system. So I've used the GSM in this. And the problem statement is if there are the inability for someone to control the household appliances, he can just send a message so as to monitor the devices. And the approach is deal with the development of the hardware and the firmware. The hardware development is just drawing the schematic diagram and developing according to that. And the firmware deals with the writing the software so that it just needs whatever that we needed to get the experimental test is instead of using directly the devices, we just keep the LED in the place and send the message and check it if the LED is on. That shows that the kit is performing. And this is my taxonomy. We have two types of transmissions, that is wired and wireless. The wired may be by the telephone cables, and the wireless we have many more. A few are Zigbee, GSM, WEB, and the Bluetooth. In this, out of the Bluetooth, which is a data transfer, which is only for short range, and have mentioned the drawback about the web server, which is the server breakdown. In order to overcome these two, I have used the GSM module, which is just by sending a message. And the contribution to this field is by this development of this, the kit is highly reliable. That is, by a survey we can know that 80% of the people in the world are using the mobile phones, which is highly reliable for everyone to use. And it is highly secure because only the user which has been registered can send a message, so no one can operate this other than the user who has purchased it. And it is a cost-efficient project. And here is the algorithm how my project works. Once if the modem is initialized, and if a user sends the message, it extracts the commands from the message, execute as per the request, and acknowledge to the user. If no, it goes in the first stage again. Here is my summary what I've talked in the presentation is how to monitoring household compliances, how can be better than the other existing devices, and the transmission techniques, and the basic algorithm of the system used. Thank you.
Yours was uploaded? Because it doesn't show on Blackboard. We're up to 24. Did you just upload it? I'm not seeing it here. I beg your pardon? Once I open the list, sir. Is it possible that you uploaded it after class began? Because it didn't show. Needs grading. Do you see your name here? Madhu, is that your name? Oh, did I skip you by accident? Oh, I'm sorry. Just a minute now. Oh, security warning. Who let this PowerPoint in here? Okay.
Good evening everyone. Today I am here to give presentation on automatic engine locking system for drunken drivers. Actually, why this project is important. In recent years, road accidents due to drunk driving rapidly increased. Recent statistics show that out of 10 road accidents, 4 take place due to drunk driving. And not only the drivers under the influence of alcohol died, many innocent people were killed and injured as well. Because of this, there will be huge property loss and life loss. So in order to minimize these accidents, an automatic engine locking system must be implemented in the vehicle. This system uses alcohol sensor and several transdermal sensors. Coming to approach, in order to detect the presence of alcohol, an alcohol sensor and several transdermal sensors are used. One alcohol sensor is placed on the center of the steering wheel. This alcohol sensor will emit infrared radiations in the direction towards the driver's face. This sensor detects the presence of alcohol through person's breath. And several transdermal sensors are placed on the steering wheel. This sensor should be placed such that they should cover the entire portion of the steering wheel. And these sensors detects the presence of alcohol through person's sweat. And the microcontroller which is present in the electronic control unit of the car will control all of the operations. Coming to working, the input for the system is from the alcohol sensor or transdermal sensor. The microcontroller keeps looking for the output from these sensors, alcohol sensor or transdermal sensor. When the alcohol is detected, the alcohol sensor or transdermal sensor will pass an input to the microcontroller that the alcohol is detected. Then microcontroller, by using the relay driver, microcontroller will pass instruction to the relay that the alcohol is detected. Then relay is used as a switch to stop the engine. Coming to the flow. When the driver starts the vehicle, in the initial stages, sensors, microcontroller and the parking lights will be initialized. If the alcohol is detected, then the parking lights will be on and the engine will be off. The driver is given 2 minutes to park the vehicle, and the parking lights will be on because the other road users will be alarmed that the so and so person is drunk. Coming to taxonomy, as my project is about alcohol detection, I am going to describe about it. And in order to detect alcohol, there are different kind of sensors like thermal, mechanical, chemical, electrochemical, magnetic and radiant. In this I am using electrochemical sensors. How the electrochemical sensors will work means, these sensors will oxidize the alcohol. When the alcohol is oxidized, an electric current will be generated. By measuring the electric current, the blood alcohol concentration is measured. And this electrochemical sensors is of different types like fuel cell sensors, infrared sensors and semiconductor based sensors. In this project I am using fuel cell sensor and infrared sensors. When a device uses a fuel sense sensor, it is called as transdermal sensing device. When it uses infrared sensor, it is called as interoxylizer. This transdermal sensor detects the presence of alcohol through person's sweat. Interoxylizer detects the presence of alcohol through person's breath. Conclusion. By implementing this system, road accidents will be minimized. As a result, there will be less property loss and life loss. Thank you.
Alright, so what I'd like to do is create an assignment for next time. And we're almost out of time for the course, you know. And there is a final, and in the final, you're going to have to submit your project report. And so I think it would make sense for us to make sure that we have a sufficient number of references. I think we were going to try and shoot for one good reference per week. So presumably you would have something on the order of perhaps 40 references that you actually cite and write about. Do people feel like they have enough references? Yes? Okay. So what I would like to see you do is submit a draft of the final report, and in this draft we will have everything that is required in the report, and I will grade it as though it were homework. I will not grade it like it's a final, but it will get you working on it so that you can be ready to submit something that's real and has incorporated my feedback. So I think you need an opportunity for this. So prepare a final report and submit the draft as a homework assignment. What I would suggest is that you make sure that you incorporate all of the prior assignments. So things like your taxonomy, your problem statement, your motivation, your ethics, your literature survey. Make sure that you're writing about every article you cite. Sometimes people had literature cited, but it wasn't really cited. They just listed it. So if it's literature cited, that means you must write about it. So make sure you have, I'll say perhaps 40 references, and that each are cited. Okay. You must describe other approaches to your problem. In other words, a survey paper, which is what you're writing now, is essentially a first step toward writing a good research paper. So your survey paper is going to describe other approaches to the problem, and then your approach and why your approach is better than the other approaches. This is how you define your contribution to the field. So you can say, well, other people have done, make up something, fire detection, and they've used the following approaches. I'm going to use a different approach, and mine is better because. So it's okay to ding the other approaches. That ding means, describe why it's not as good as yours. So describe the other approaches to your problem. Show why your approach may be better. So that's important. One of the reasons you do a literature survey is to describe other things that are being done in the field. So what we'll do is this will count as a single homework, so it won't count as much as the final. We'll make it worth 100. And it is due, right? It's got to be due in a week at 5 p.m. And what I will do is I will invite Dr. Jeff Dennenberg to give us a short talk about the course that he plans to offer this summer on green power generation. And so if you're interested in you want to register for something this summer, we've got a number of nice courses. Someone said to me that they really wanted to take a database course in the business department, and I explained this to the software engineering chairwoman, and she said, oh, we'll offer SW402, so database course will be there for anyone who wants to take it. If someone, I forgot who it was, wants a database course, it'll be there too. If you need a programming course and you haven't had one, there is an SW407 course available to you as well. I think it's getting very full. There are already 22 people enrolled in that class, so perhaps it's going to get to capacity quickly. So registrations are running out. There's another one where the registrations are running out. Server management. It's become very popular for some reason. Perhaps 22 students are already in that one too. Same number. But Nano is a good course too. So if you like some hardware or interesting new ideas, I think the Nano course will be good for you. Does everybody feel comfortable with this writing assignment? Will you be able to do it, do you think? It's okay, no problem? Okay. Say it again? Yeah, I was going to give you a little lecture on this, but I can tell you that different approaches to your problem will probably appear in your literature. So when you did a literature survey, what was your topic again? Wireless charging. Okay, so fractal antennas, there's a lot of stuff on fractal antennas. Your fractal antenna may be different from somebody else's. I don't know. Nathan Cohen has done a lot of publications in this area, so you've probably seen a lot of his papers. Maybe you haven't seen exactly how much power a battery holds, but the claim that you're going to be able to charge this thing, not in a week, not in 2 weeks, not at 240 microwatts. This thing needs amperes, and at 3 volts. So I mean, if you look at the battery, it says 3.7 volts, and I think it's at least an ampere. At least. So I'm thinking there's at least 3 watts, perhaps 5 watts in this thing. I think it would take you a long time to charge this if you're going in at microwatts. Microwatts per second, yes. You'll show us a sample computation maybe and see how that works. When the phone is in standby, it's consuming more than what you're delivering, I think. All right, I think, unless there are some questions about the homework, are we throwing things now? I see people throwing paper. I better stop the class before you start throwing things at me. Okay, so we've got a nice homework assignment here. I think the homework assignment is called Draft of the Final Report. I believe it's homework 11, so I can edit it to make sure it says that. Well, maybe I can't. Can you do that? Edit. So this is homework 11. Okay. So we're all set? Yes, sir. 40 references, isn't that right? One reference per week. See, it's a readings course. You were supposed to be reading all along, right? So hopefully you have ordered your references and read them. If you haven't done that by now, you did 20. Well, that would have been for the midterm. You've probably been reading since then, right? Yeah, so maybe I would hope that you would keep reading. Anyways, if you haven't gotten your 40, you better get them. Get them while you can. I mean, one paper a week is not too many, I think. So that's what we've got. I thank you very much. Have a good evening.